Welcome to another Forza Horizon video. Today we are going to do some Raku Raku Express jobs, food deliveries. I just need to grind this out and I got some topics I wanted to talk about, so this is decent background noise hopefully. I mean, the truck is kinda ridiculous, but outside of the initial love, this is actually quite the grind fest. At least there's a decent job variety. But yeah, the thing I wanted to talk about today is, first up, the kind of events in this game. There are way too few. I mean, I don't mind that you can get through the whole story decently fast, get to Legend Island and all of that somewhat quickly. But the thing that really annoyed me was, quite recently I did some of weekly playlist season event stuff, and I got gifted a really cool car. Celine S7 LM edition, I think it was. It's definitely a higher spec version of the old Celine S7, and I loved it so much that I went into the tuner immediately, got the upgrades to put it into, I think, S1 or S2, I don't fully remember. And I even liked it enough to just get it into the decal editor and put a custom livery on. Which I don't do for every car. Even ones that I really like, I'm usually just too lazy and put it off. Maybe don't have a good idea for it. But with that one, I just immediately gone and did it. So before even driving the car, I spent quite a considerable amount of time on it. And then it was finally time to take it out into free roam and find some races to do with it. I went for a few hundred meters, looked at the map, and then noticed I don't really have anything I can do with this. Like, nothing at all. Most races either wanted another car type, wanted another power class, etc. So it just really didn't come together. And then I've noticed that this is kind of a case for a lot of cars in this game. The game is so content on throwing new stuff at you, but it barely gives you anything to do with vehicles, and that's not amazing.
This smells great, thank you.
So yeah. In the end, I went to another car because I had some other playlist stuff to do. But really, I wish there were just so many more events. Like maybe at least double as many as we have right now. Even 3 times. I think that would be a good amount. And really mix it up. Have multiple races for each vehicle type class combination. But also have stuff like Sports Retro in B class, Sports Retro in A, S1, etc. How high it can reasonably go. And then have combinations like maybe only rear-wheel drive cars, maybe only all-wheel drive. I think that's actually a thing for some of the off-road stuff. But also for on-road events it would be cool. Front-wheel drive of course as well. And some Japanese only events, some American only events, European only. Just the regular old basic stuff. It seems very obvious, it's stuff that has been done before time and again, but I think it's still important. I know that with the Forza Motorsport reboot, or 8 as I like to call it, there has been an attempt to make the cars more special to the person, to get the player to spend time with them. But I think just having a solid set of events so that people can pick a car they like and then have something to do with them, that should still be the core of everything. And I know I can go to existing events and override the requirements to do that race with whatever I want. It's not the same though. It's a difference if you can make actual real progress with it and have your car actually be useful instead of having to go out of your way to make something to even use it in to begin with. And the amount of events in this game are just laughably low. Way too few. I also feel like at the start they could have maybe done this a bit more immersive. You start the intro and afterwards you immediately are gifted 3 starter cars. 1 for each type of race, on-road, rally off-road and cross-country. And I think it would have been better if they maybe picked a D-class car to begin with, maybe even the AE86. And what am I even doing here? Vehicle skills is what I should be focusing on. And yeah, have you just do a few on-road races with that, maybe at the different racetracks, and point of the other 2 cars as prize cars for those races. Maybe you need to do 2 races per other car that you're supposed to win, and then have one of your companion story people come in and give you the upgrades to the AE86 to make it a C-class car. Could also be a decent introduction into the whole tuning part of the game. Instead of, I don't know what you even do at the beginning, but you get gifted a lot of cars immediately.
The food order is ready. I have set your route to the pickup location in 200 meters. Turn right.
But yeah. Are we in a different truck now?
400 meters. Turn left.
Seems to have the other cargo box attachment on. And yeah, I'm absolutely not paying any attention to what I'm doing in game. I'm just going places. Need to get there at some point. So yeah, the amount of events kinda disappointing, especially when it comes to car variety. I recently needed to do some driving in an off-road car. I didn't even know that off-road is an actual car type in the game. I just never encountered it because it was never required for anything. And I'm not entirely sure how many more of these there are. So that part kinda sucks. Also talking about getting gifted cars, I just upgraded the version that I'm playing to the premium one. Was quite expensive, but I mean, I'm having a really good time with the game, much better than I initially expected. And I just wanted to get some of the other stuff. The thing is, a lot of what you pay for is basically progression skips. You immediately get some of the fastest cars in the game. So that's quite annoying. Although I also noticed that some of the vintage race cars, like the 60s Le Mans participants, they can cost up to 70 million, and you get a free car voucher for the for any car you want at the auto shop there. So I just got myself the Ferrari 330, which is I think the most expensive car in the game right now. Love that car, will likely use it for something eventually, if there is something to use it with. But yeah, we'll have to see about all of that. Okay, multi-drop off. I didn't know about one of these that was timed, and I had 10 seconds to get to the place.
Customer's happy. Want to take on another delivery?
Was it the one? I thought it was a multi-thing, but who cares? Slowly moving up in the ranking here. But yeah, the premium edition stuff, it gives me some cars that I otherwise would not have access to, which I think is fair.
Collection.
I just don't want it to all be thrown at me right from the start. In some cases I think it would be better if they rebalance it so that you don't get gifted cars, but instead more more money, and instead of having car rewards, what you would get is the car unlocking for purchase.
Turn right.
I think that would be nice. But that's also something that I noticed recently. You just... well, you get a lot of cars gifted to you, but the money you get on a regular basis isn't really all that amazing. I mean, the Raku stuff here, it doesn't really give me much money either. I think some of the races definitely pay out better, but compared to the cost of some cars, even ignoring the ones that go beyond the hypercar price level, which is usually up to 6 million, I think.
Request come through that the salad in the order needs.
And a lot of other cars are cheaper than that, even high-class cars. It just doesn't really work out too well. So you get a lot of cars thrown at you, usually ones that you either can't use for anything or maybe don't even enjoy to begin with, don't care about. But the ones you want, you will have a hard time ever getting enough money to buy them. So yeah, something's messed up here.
200 meters. Turn left.
Get away from the trees. Trees are not my friends.
Turn right.
At least of the ones that I can't just cut down with a car. And yeah, there seems to be a good amount of FOMO in the game right now. I missed out on the Toyota Altezza. I saw that some of the cars are coming back in Season 2 as rewards, but the Altezza apparently wasn't among them. I got the drift points I need already. Just need to make it to a drop-off, which might not happen anymore. That's the problem if you focus too much on the drifting. Yeah, no way I'm getting there in time.
Turn around when it is safe to do so. Recalculating route. In 200 meters. Turn left.
Yeah, honestly, besides all of this, the game,
Want to take another order up?
while fun, while having a lot of good stuff to offer, it also feels very messy. Like the menus kinda just suck. I mean, the worst stuff that I've seen so far is definitely the event route creator, with how they made the route making, the
Food order is ready for
pop placing, etc. There are a lot of weird things about it.
200
Also having to make a separate event from the route and stuff, it's just...
turn left.
It's far from perfect. But even just minor things, like if I want to modify my car, I need to get from the free roam where I am right now into a different location, need to get into the menu, and when I go back into free roam, I'm not where I left off.
Destination.
That all just feels kinda weird. I even managed to softlock myself, I think, twice by now. So the first time I went into a racing event or something, there was another person in the lobby, and they left. And usually you go through a few races. You can also leave the event while in the race and just going into the pause menu.
In 100 meters, turn right.
And yeah, with that person leaving,
Turn left.
every situation where I could have left the event got skipped. The main screen where you get to see all the upcoming text and usually get to leave, that just automatically confirmed. And when it just went through all the different menus and everything automatically,
I have
which
set your route to the
there are way too many of, I think. Could have been a bit more efficient. And the actual race
200 meters.
gets one the moment that I started because, well, there is no other person in there, so I just get the win.
200 meters. Turn
And I had to turn off the game in order to get back into anything else. The other time I went into a parking area and specifically into a car meet.
400 meters.
Looked at the car of another person and that person left. There was a notification that, hey, the other guy left, you can't look at the car anymore. But the confirmation button didn't work.
In 100 meters, turn right.
Once again, had to reboot the game. And it's just stuff like this that feels a bit annoying.
100 meters, turn right.
But I think compared to that, the whole FOMO thing and how the rewards work right now, it's a far bigger issue.
I'm looking forward to this.
So yeah, I don't know.
Order drop-off confirmed. I have plotted your route to the final delivery destination. In 200 meters, turn left.
It's still a good amount of fun and I'm having a blast with the game, but some of these things, it's just... I wonder where the future goes for the game. If they are going to address some of it, or if this is just going to get worse.
Turn left. Recalculating route.
Damn traffic car. Made me miss my turn.
In 100 meters, turn right.
I mean, I could also rewind. Let's see. I don't think that's going to give me all the 3 stars, but who cares, might be a little bit faster at least. Because this was completely unnecessary. Cutting on the inside instead. But yeah, I'm just a bit short on time.
You have arrived at your destination.
And yeah, right now with where I am in the game, it's just kind of a checklist to go through. I had to turn on some radio stations in order to get some specific thing to happen. And that is done now. Now one of the main things I need to do is this. I also need to do some rivals on different toggle tracks and other stuff. It's just going into the menu, seeing what's still missing and trying to get it done. There's a custom AT6 at the end of it that I'm looking forward to.
The orders are ready. I have plotted your route to the pickup location. In 200 meters, turn right.
But yeah, in terms of money-making opportunities, there could also be more.
100 meters.
I recently figured out stunt parties. Those are quite well paying. You get 100k within 10 minutes. Sometimes if you are running with a good team, you also get it within 5. Problem is stunt parties aren't always available. They only come up every now and again. But if you are quick enough the first time around, if you sign up in that area fast enough, you can maybe even do it twice. So that's 200k. But yeah, other than that, regular track payouts. I felt like we were getting a lot of money at the beginning of the game, but it seems like it's just the same kind of money the whole way through. Usually, and I mean in pretty much every game you expect it to escalate a bit. And from that point on, the early money felt like a lot. But seems like it's the same all the way through, so now it doesn't really feel all that good anymore.
You have arrived at your destination.
Ready for delivery.
We've also recently taken down the Eliminator for a moment at least.
Updated to the closest delivery.
There was some money-making exploit.
100 meters. Turn right.
If you entered it with a specific vehicle that you were in beforehand and did something with it, you could get millions at random. Don't know how, don't know why, but hey. If life gives you lemons.
Turn left.
I didn't participate in that war, just to be clear.
Turn left.
But yeah, as it is right now, from what I've seen, a lot of people are just doing... from what I heard, people are just doing the weekly activities just to get the new cars and everything. Once you are through with some of the basic stuff, the game gets far less rewarding.
Delivery to customer confirmed.
I still want to try out a few more online racing parts here and there, but we'll have to see how well that goes.
In 200 meters. Turn right.
From what I've seen, there isn't that much variety. Like you won't just find racing hoppers for every single vehicle class and all of that. And the different major power options, etc. It's just... I don't know. I've done spec racing most of the time, and that's just one stock car that everybody has to drive. But taking my own custom cars into something... we'll see what kind of thing we get there. I'm just really curious on how it all works. If the classes are always the same, if it's going to be very limiting on what you can use, or maybe have enough options so that I can finally do something with my Celine. I also have a Viper that I bought, and
Thank you.
I'm still gonna use that at some point. Still gonna make a livery for that one.
Delivery complete.
I know what I wanna do for it, but it's gonna be a lot of work. And I was kinda hoping that we could maybe just transfer liveries from Forza Motorsport 7. Because that's where most of my stuff is. I know that with Forza Motorsport 8 they kinda messed it up a little bit. They only allowed people to take in stuff from 7 if they were on the same platform. I bought 7 on the Windows Store, and I hate the Windows Store. If I can avoid it, I'll never be buying another game there. And just being told, hey, if you don't buy it here again, you won't be able to do that specific thing. That's just ransom. That's not a legitimate argument to go with the storefront that you don't prefer. It's just, hey, the old thing only was available here, and if you want to have some benefits that you should be able to take for granted, then you better stay here.
You can pick up another job if you want to.
Well, anyways, they are still working on the transfer thing. Also had some issues with some people losing their save file, which is scary as hell.
The delivery package is ready. Your destination is now the pickup point.
Miss the radio off stuff. I mean, I don't have the music on anyways, but for some reason I just had the radio run at 0 volume in the background, so the game still assigned me to have a favorite radio station now. Maybe I'll put it on again at some point. There seem to be some really cool songs here and there. At least worth browsing through. But I remember not being a fan of the first Forza Horizon radio stations, so I don't know. With some of the stuff, I'm just used to turning it off. And I don't know why I'm drifting here, I'm doing it out of reflex by now. Drifting is still my favorite activity in the game. And you know what, maybe I'll show you guys some of the stuff next time.
Got an order note here for you. The customer is in Japan specifically for the festival and wants you to deliver the order Horizon style? So drive to impress, I guess.
So, property damage is what they seek. Honestly, I had my opinion on being able to smash through all of this stuff before. But honestly, at this point, with how necessary it sometimes is in order to get the scores, it's starting to feel downright disrespectful. And that's the end of that combo due to the tree. You know what, I'm just gonna turn straight here. Just gonna mix it up a bit. And yeah, I don't know how much I talked about this already, but I also don't really like how the different race categories shake down. Basically, there are 3 of them. Anything on the road, then off-road, dirt path, rally racing, and then of course also cross country. It's basically thirds. But with how the vehicle roster and everything shakes down, I think that's just completely overdoing the off-road stuff. We have some rally cars, we have some road-going cars based on famous rally cars that could also be upgraded to work off-road. There's a lot of fun to be had there. But I think the game would be much better if a majority was still on-road. So I would really like if they just went with,
Great, thank you.
I don't know, give us double or 3 times the event and make most of it on-road.
Order's ready if you want to take on another job.
But I will have to see how it goes for future editions. But giving each about a third means that we are off-road more times than on-road, and especially for stuff like drifting and all of that. Too many of the drift zones are on dirt roads, and it really feels like they had the wrong idea there.
400 meters. Turn left.
Okay, I think we are just doing this one delivery, and then I'm going to stop recording and maybe we'll get into some proper drifting next time. Might have to turn off traction control for that.
In 200 meters. Turn right. Turn right.
Oh, what a complicated route. Sometimes it's also good to just take a look at the map and figure out a better route. The routing in this game is kinda awful. Although I recently also had something happen that kinda ties in with my last video about, or the one before that, about how they implemented the expressway.
Turn sharp right.
There are some decisions that I find highly questionable.
Your destination.
Ready to deliver.
But yeah, I would have to recreate that situation in order to show you guys properly. But that might be a worthwhile discussion topic as well.
Sushi order needs to get to the customer while it's still fresh. Keep the speed up.
In 400 meters, turn right.
Well,
Turn right. Turn around when it is safe to do so.
ah, shit.
Calculating route.
I thought I could just waltz through here. You know what? Strictly speaking, I can, but not exactly through that bridge there.
In 100 meters,
Just gonna do it like this.
in 100 meters,
But yeah, right now there are also just too many times where property damage is just kinda required.
turn left.
Especially the stunt parties. You go into an area and you're just supposed to whack up whacking skills. So you mow down every single tree, bamboo shoot, or whatever you can find. And it just feels a bit awful. I know it's a game, it's all lighthearted and everything, but disrespect your surroundings to that degree, that's kinda a bit sociopathic, I think.
Turn right.
And it's not like Burnout or something where you have a massive amount of spectacle. It's just you
Meters, turn left.
doing the same thing for multiple minutes in order to get the points.
In 100 meters,
It's a bit too mundane for that to be exciting.
you have arrived at your destination.
Thanks, driver.
Okay, but that's gonna be it for me for this video. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed.
Nice going.
Let me know what you think about the whole
Take 'em.
stuff that I talked about today. I don't know. I got opinions as per usual. So yeah, until next one, have a good one and bye bye.